Hello everyone, welcome to Tablestory's Darkfire. It's always so stilted when I do that because I'm just checking everyone's in the right places because sometimes you're not. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's me, BradWOTO, and your cast, Wax Steven, John Sandman, and Pumpkinberry. Welcome back.
Hi,
John.
Okay, yeah, dude. It was weird. I did not like taking a week off. That was not chill.
You feel like you've been gone for too long?
Yeah. I just was celebrating Christmas with my family, and I would have, I should have been here.
Well, we're not family enough for you. We're not family enough.
I should have.
Well,
we talked about you though, and Brad was real mad about it.
Oh, I was super
like
mad.
A good 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I got the tweet and I checked. Yeah, my son with the undies,
panties,
right? The panties. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I just realized what you're talking about. They wouldn't shut up for so long talking about this tweet.
We had a straw poll going to see if they were just lace or
It
if
was
they were
just
You
actually-
straw polled it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
They were talking for so long. They were like, "Is that panties? Is that lace panties in the picture?" And that was it, just for about 25 minutes. It was just ridiculous. Oh my God. Well,
I love that that's what you caught. Like that's what you see on like
Tiger
the
was here. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's Tiger.
Yeah. Tiger is not here today. Don't know where he went. He'll be back next week.
He just wandered off randomly.
He wandered off. Everyone go send him a tweet. What's his tweet?
Don't send him a tweet.
No?
He's dealing with stuff.
You don't want to send him a tweet?
Send him a tweet saying you miss him.
Yeah.
He'll love
Yeah.
that.
Send him.
Or
Send him.
like hearts.
Send him. We are 19.
We are 19.
Hashtag
I'm
we are
tweeting him right now.
19.
Right now.
I'm tweeting him right now.
Send him that. What is this thing? Tiger out of TV? Is
Yeah,
this
I
him?
think so. Let me see.
There we go. Yeah. Hashtag we are 19. Send that to Tiger. See? Send him a nice tweet. What do you think I was gonna do? Like, fucking go.
Where are you, idiot?
Go and attack him. No. That's what I meant. Hashtag we are 19. Go send it to him.
That's dope, dude.
We'll see him next time. He'll like that, hopefully. Or he's gonna be like, my Twitter's blowing up.
He's gonna be like, what's going on? What did I miss?
I don't know what's going
I
on.
don't know what's going on. My name's Tiger Rider. It's too difficult to do.
Is that how he talks?
Oh, I can't get to that like baritone level that his voice has, where he can do that like wonderful
John.
Chris Stapleton singer like deep south sounding.
Have you ever heard him sing?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a great singer.
I love it.
It comes out of nowhere. You wouldn't expect it from like his voice.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
just like, whoa, hello.
But he sort of does like the meme songs on his stream, doesn't he? Where he's like, "Welcome into the nerd crew."
Yeah.
He does that all the time.
Yeah.
Sub club. But when he actually legit records some stuff and then just throws it up on Twitter and stuff, it's awesome. And that's why you should follow Tiger out on Twitter, because it's the only way you ever see him sing. Sometimes I've seen him do a couple of streams where he sits and messes around with the piano or a guitar or something.
Yeah, he'll do like a music stream.
Yeah, those are good too.
Good dude.
Rare though, rare. You got to follow him on everything, and we'll see him next week, hopefully. But we do have the rest of them here, including John Sandman, who wasn't here. Did you have a wonderful week off?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it was good to be with family, but at the same
All right,
time,
great.
I was.
What about the rest of you guys? Did you have... I'm kidding.
No, I'm all about it, dude. I'm all about it.
Continue. You had a nice
It's one of my favorite things to cut someone off.
do it.
When you're mad at them. No, it was good. It was good. I just missed you guys, and Happy New Year. Holy crap, 2019. This is the first day. There's no better way to start off the new year than playing some.
Oh my God, it is January 1st, isn't it, today? Wow.
January 1st, man.
It is.
I'm so unaware of these things. I'm such an old man who doesn't.
Easier.
I live in my own little bubble.
I would think that the signaling of the first of the year, i.e., fireworks everywhere and your dog bouncing off of the walls,
Could
would
give
be
you an idea.
to what day it is today, Brad.
Yeah, but I just forgot about that. You know, that could have been a week ago. I don't know. Time has compressed in my house. It's just. I think it's a weird thing. I don't go out very much. Like I don't literally go outside too much, and I just work from home, right? So it's just this constant like same, like it's just everything time just melds into one thing. That sounds bad. I enjoy my life like that, but it does mean that I don't pay much attention to dates and time and stuff. So I just kind of go, oh, I'm here now. It's Tuesday, you know, and everyone's like, dude, it's January 1st.
Welcome, dude. It's 2019.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, what?
As Unmog said in the chat, we are 2019.
We are 2019. That's cute.
I love it. I love it.
We are 2019. Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. What the hell is going on with the bot? You
Yeah, I
see
don't
that?
know what's happening.
What is that?
I don't know.
Wax seems to be fully aware of what's happening because he's got that look on his face. Whatever. All right. I'm undoing what you did. What did I do? I don't understand.
Apparently, you banned a bunch of people, Brad.
That doesn't mean you should undo that. There's a reason that these people are banned. Don't undo that. It's like locking all the prisoners up, and then like someone else with the keys comes in and just goes, "Why would you lock these criminals up? Unlock them! Ah, you're all free!" At the same time. What are you, crazy? You out of your mind? All right. Well, insane. Truly insane. All right.
Do we want to do the thing?
Yeah. Do you want to introduce it?
Sure, I can.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh, we're doing it now?
Guess so.
Yeah, we'll do it now and later.
Oh, we're doing it now. All right.
Yeah.
We're doing it live.
Yeah. So yeah, there's in case you guys didn't notice, there was a random Discord channel that got added recently. If you've been on the Discord, there's been a lot of sort of random talk about things. There's been a lot of scrambled letters, and it has been unscrambled. We have something to show you guys. It's the first newly announced show for 2019. Why don't we
Get fucking hyped.
Get hyped.
Show this for you now.
All right, here you go. It's a special trailer. Wow. What? What is this?
Yes, we have a new mask show. This is going to be a whole new show, new characters, everything. This is a new campaign. It's a sort of a different setting than we had for Identity Crisis. It's a new show entirely. So we hope you guys will catch that. That's starting January 11th. Yeah, I'm pretty hype. Masks has definitely been one of my favorite systems to use so far, and the cast got along so well for Identity Crisis that it would be a crime if we did not do something together again. So that's starting soon.
So sick.
10 days.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, Brad, that was so.
No. I got distracted by something else then, and I wasn't responding to what Wax said. Honestly, I just kind of said that to say something. because I was hoping that you would speak for like 1 minute longer. So that
Emma has just thrown a cabbage at him.
Emma just threw a cabbage. All right. Well, it's a bit like Dust Veil to Darkfire, right? In the sense that it's completely separate,
Yeah.
but
It's
there
completely
is
different. It's not the same show.
But if you watch them both, you'd get some nice little Easter eggy lore type things going on. But it wouldn't matter if you haven't seen it.
If
so.
you didn't watch the first, show that we did, this is a completely different show. So you're good to kind of hop into this one.
I highly recommend it because the last time this lot played Masters, it was the best. Almost as good as Tablestory's Darkfire. Would you like to play that?
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
Love to.
All right.
There's so many questions I have.
Yes.
Go on then. Go.
You gotta answer them by playing the game. I'm just gonna be sitting there.
I
The
know.
whole episode.
I'm memeing you. So let me catch you guys up if I can remember, because it was 2 weeks ago for us that we last saw the main crew. We did do an episode of Darkfire last week, but it was a one shot. It was like a thing that was set outside of the main story. If you didn't see it last week, don't worry about it. You can go back and catch the VOD if you'd like to. But it was
On
sort
YouTube.
of episode, I think 20.5 or 21.5. I don't know. It was like a mid thing. It wasn't really part of this thing. So the last thing that actually happened in this was when Drift took on Owen of the Snow in the finale of the Roseguard Autumn Festival. Pretty much that was the entire episode. Iridir in 19 had a little bit of a kerfuffle with another bard. Rin was
What's that word?
kerfuffle. Is that not
That's a real word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kerfuffle? How do you?
Kerfuffle.
K-E-R fuffle.
That's amazing. What a great
There you go.
word.
Go change your
Holy crap.
Go change your bio to just kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
I
Yeah.
am a kerfuffle of a man. The previous competitor was, of course, horrendously murdered by Drift in front of everybody. He stabbed him through the heart and he died. Another person.
The neck.
Neck. You
Was
kept
it a
thinking
neck?
heart. It was like a meme.
Whatever. All right. Trust me. Okay. If I say something happens, that's what happened. He chopped his eyes out and ate them in front of everyone. He stabbed him in the neck. And
Sorry.
this other person who was able to move very quickly spoke to Iridir briefly, blurred off onto the field, created a smoke bomb to avert the eyes of any of the wizards briefly, grabbed or enchanted the body of Walter the Red and had him kind of walk off. Iridir was really the only person privy to how horrific it was. It was absolutely an animated dead body that was just kind of made to look as if it's walking off. She grabbed it, called you an idiot or something, and left, and then just blurred away with the body. She can move really quickly. You recognize her as Muriel, the Silence, who was one of the other competitors, because she was supposed to be in the finale or she was supposed to be in the semi-final. She didn't make it, so you fought Owen of the Snow in the water level with your water Pokemon, and you won with a Poliwhirl. And you were given. Oh, you did meet the king. The king came down. He said that you were to be knighted. He gave you some money and the sword Peacekeeper, which is a longsword, an enchanted longsword, which is in your character sheet now if you want to look at it. You just have that now. You have it. Congratulations. Let's continue playing the game.
Also, Iridir was like King's Jester, right?
No,
Iridir was made the
Excuse-
king's jester.
Please,
Yo,
can we get it right?
Go on
I
then.
think that's pretty accurate.
What was
No.
it? What was it if it wasn't the king's jester?
No. You said
his
the
personal
bard.
music man.
I
said the
believe it was
personal
King's
bard.
Jester. I think it was King's Jester. No, it was the personal.
It was not the jester.
It was the personal bard
Mike Stephen will remember this.
Of the king. This is nighttime. It's not quite nighttime. Though that is.
Peacekeeper's amazing.
Peacekeeper is pretty good, yeah.
Is it better than the Shadow Sword? Situational.
Situational. Remember that your Hexblade is a whole load of bullshit that you need to work out how to do. So you're in the capital city of Rosegard. We're going to jump forward in time a little. After the ending of the competition, the outside of the Colosseum is filled with food and drink and things that you can buy and tents and stuff going on, and a sort of festival of kinds begins. People are less concentrated in the Colosseum, and they kind of spill out from it. The Colosseum does actually have a few shows, some bards play and stuff like that into those scepters, and you can hear it through the festival grounds quite easily. But you guys are taken back into that little room where the competition, they held you in that plain room for a long time, and you're left there for a while, told to stay there by you guys. I mean Iridir and Drift. Rin, what do you think you would do?
Well, I would try to go meet with them after it's over.
Bam, granted your wish.
Awesome.
19 has access, and probably you're able to very quickly meet up after the fights, and you're left in that plain stone room and told to wait there until an escort comes to get you. And you can hear this festival begin outside. 19 probably will come and show you the way, Rin, and the guards will allow you in, and sort of just leave you in this room. 19 walks out of the room, and that's the last you saw of him.
Nice, dude.
Is there anything pressing you guys would do immediately after the festival, or the fights? I mean, not the festival itself.
I just know I'm in like my Rocky moment. Like I
hug you.
I would.
You. I'm so excited.
I would give Rin a huge hug. I would
by the way.
I would grab Eero like by the face and just be like, yeah, they're like, you won that, and then I'm pumped and I am completely blinded about what happened earlier. This is celebration time. Eating grapes, drinking champagne, all of it.
Okay.
So that's what's been going on.
I have something for you.
Wait, what? For me?
Yeah. I pull into my bag and I pull out the little statue that was made for you. It's not as good as the one that we were having made before, but I hope you like it.
Do we notice anything different about Rin?
Rin looks a little fucked up. You all look a little fucked up though. Iridir, you look drunk. Drift, he has been fighting all day, so he's probably quite dirty, and he's got a lot of cuts in that nice fine clothing that he has, and he's probably covered in blood that's dried up. Rin also looks like she's been fighting all day. Her boots don't smell nice, and she has a big thick cloth bandage wrapped around one hand. This is more like how you guys have known each other the entire time anyway. You've pretty much looked this way. There's only been about one day where you looked okay and smelt nice, and then you immediately all look and smell terrible again.
Gross again, yeah.
So, but yeah, she looks like she's been and done something.
I would probably be sharing in the revelry, I think.
Rin has been missing for like 2 days, I think, as well at this point. So, like
if
night.
I saw, seeing her, I would.
According to you, I could have been watching.
Yeah,
I could have been watching.
You didn't come back to the room.
Oh yeah,
though.
I mean like one evening.
But I told you I was gonna go get the sex.
Sex. Yes, I want to ask you about that.
So I definitely like, after seeing you, I would say, so everything went very well, I take it.
Oh, Yes, very well. Thank you.
Was
It
it-
was
what-
delicious.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
Excellent. Yeah, have a drink.
Oh,
Thank you for this.
Sure, why not?
There's another voice in the
Those
room
grapes?
that suddenly speaks up and says, "And can I have a drink?" And it's your hand, which has a mouth on it.
Oh
Drift.
my God. What happened to your hand?
I don't
Weird
know.
split in the hand there with a mouth with some pointed teeth.
I grab your hand and I pull it close. Like, what is this?
I don't know.
Hello?
Hello.
I think this is
It's talking to you.
Yes, I
talking to you.
am. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Oh, hello. You're talking to me. Ooh,
Right.
What? Ugh! That's kind of gross.
What's your name?
I'm Rin.
Hello, Rin.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Drift.
You're not. I'm Drift. You're
Yeah,
not
well,
Drift.
We're both Drift.
Okay, when are you gonna? How long are you here for?
Oh my God. I take a drink.
I don't know. Can I have some drink?
Can we
I mean,
pour?
sure.
Sure. Give me a. Can you pour this? Can you pour that for me,
Hero,
Ren?
help me. Here, I'll hold the hand. You pour.
Why are we pouring?
I want to see if Drift gets drunk by drinking from his hand.
No. Am I gonna get drunk if you drink
What do
this?
you mean
I'm already
drinking
drinking.
from his hand? I don't understand.
We won.
I
You
don't
didn't do
know.
anything in that
I
fight.
don't know how
me
this
at all.
works at all.
What do you mean drink from his hand?
Look at his hand, Hero.
Yes,
You,
look at,
you mean you didn't
look
do
at
this?
me.
That's not a
Wait,
drawing.
Hero didn't do this?
No, Eero didn't do
This
this.
isn't
Was
a
I
prank?
think this is my when I got we got those fun little power up things. Yay, exciting at the beginning of the games. This is what I got, and he did nothing. You did nothing in that water level. You did
Well,
nothing.
no, yes, I was drowning most of it. Thank you for not leaving me above water.
Like you said, you were gonna do everything in your power to make sure I lost.
I think we
Yes,
should
I was
definitely
going
give
to,
it
but
some alcohol.
Didn't really,
Right?
Okay,
Okay,
go
wasn't
ahead.
really able to
Drift,
do
hold
much
still.
underwater.
Hold still. I'm gonna here. I'll just tilt. Just hang on. We're gonna get you some drink, okay?
Okay.
You can't tilt it in that way. You have to turn your hand the other way.
Okay. Oh,
a
sorry,
tongue,
sorry,
a
sorry.
tongue
Okay.
comes
Yeah.
out and it's weird and pointed.
Oh my God! It has a tongue. Oh my God! It has a tongue.
Well, that could be very enjoyable. Think about it.
No, Hero, no.
I'm just saying, there's several different techniques that I'm aware of already. It adds a very incredible dimension to them.
How long are you gonna be here?
What? Where's the
How
drink?
long-
I don't know. I'm going to be here for a little while.
Not you, Hero. Not you. How long are
Maybe
you
get
gonna
some
be?
sleep.
I
Hero,
have
how
no
drunk are you?
idea.
Who are you?
You,
I'm not drunk.
you.
You're drunk.
But I'm not.
Not
I'm
yet.
me. How are you me?
Well, what am I then? Look,
What's your favorite color?
on three we say this. We say this color. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Orange.
Red.
Yes, it's the same color.
I did like orange. How'd you wait? What?
What?
I was thinking orange, but I was trying to throw you off of red. How? No! This
Okay,
is
Drift, calm down.
this is weird. It's
I'm
weird. It's weird.
perfectly
It's on my-
calm.
Okay, give him some more to drink.
Yeah.
Do you taste anything when it's drinking?
Yeah. Tell us how this works.
I don't know. I don't taste anything right now.
Hero, give him some wine.
Ah.
or food or whatever.
Give me some drink.
Please, just give him something, please.
Wait,
This is good.
try some food. Hold on. Let me get some fruit over
Yeah.
here.
No, I don't want food.
What?
What?
You don't want food.
I want drink. You will want you. I want drink.
Okay, you can have mine. You can have mine.
Just
I'm
some.
gonna pour some drink. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay,
It
all
licks
right, I'm gonna
its
put.
Drift, do you feel
non-lips.
anything when your hand drinks?
It closes its mouth and you can't see any lips or anything. It's like a wound closing up and it's gone.
Do you feel that? Any
No,
sensation at
I
all?
don't know. I don't know. I don't like this. This is
Oh.
weird. This is not enjoyable. I'm gonna
Could be.
keep that away. No, Hero.
Do you want a bandage? We could wrap it up.
No, I just want to thank you guys. Thank you, Hero. You won that for us. It was all
I don't
you.
remember winning.
You helped me so much in every single aspect of those fights. I couldn't have done it without you.
You did very well.
Of course I did.
And Rin, you were there cheering me on. Without your cheers, I probably would have lost every battle. You in 19, where did 19 go?
I don't know. Though he did have a kerfuffle
There was a certain
earlier.
girthiness to his armor that he looked a bit different.
Yeah, he got attacked by the blood grips. That's, you know.
The blood grips?
Yeah.
The door kicks open at that moment. And in walks Mr. William Boulderdown. His fine armor is like kind of undone at the top, and his shirt is spilling out over the collar of his chained shirt that he's wearing. He's kind of a little aloof as he steps in. He's got just a full bottle of wine in one hand that's spilling over his hands, and he says, "You bloody todger! You've only gone and bloody done it! You've made me a very happy man." He walks in and he just throws a bag of coins. It doesn't even hit the table. It launches straight across the table. Coins spill out across the table and it hits the far wall. The coins rolling across it. Ah! You there! And he runs over, he puts his hand out. Put her there! Bloody good show.
I told you I would do it.
Yes, well, I will say I didn't put all my money on you, but I did put some, and it was enough to make me a very rich man. He sits down in a chair next to the table and puts his boots up on the side. Right, well, so, next year, you'll still be here, yes?
Of course. I'd still like spill over and put my arm around.
Oh, yes, you did well too, I suppose, right? Was he doing stuff?
Yeah, he helped me a lot.
Very good, jolly good. That was a good performance at the beginning. Didn't see you again.
I was taking care of certain behind-the-scenes elements of the contest.
Yes, all that with your loot and stuff. Very good, jolly good show, the both of you. So next year, you're going to be returning, I assume, and I'd very much like to be the first to offer you my support.
Of course. Well, after this year's victory, QB in very high demand. I think a certain retainer is in order.
Yes, of course. Do you know what that word means, Drift?
No, it's all like a case, right?
Correct, a case. Well, pop by at some point between now and next year, and we'll sort it all out, of course. And we'll have to get you some better clothing and
what exactly would you
perhaps
have to
we'll get you
hold?
some training as well. Yes. Can you actually swim? It doesn't look like you could swim out there. Maybe we should ensure there was a lot of water this year.
Oh, I assure you, I can swim.
Yes? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there was a lot of diving in and out. Some sort of animal.
You didn't really tell me about all the different layouts.
Yes, well, of course. No, yeah, well, we slip the mind, you know, as it goes. I didn't expect you to get past the first round. I'm not going to lie. good show. You know, luckily, Godfrey was taken out by that terrible woman.
I could have beaten Godfrey.
Well, we'll see next year, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yes,
But
you're
I
here, of
like
course.
the
You.
fact that, yes, I am here.
He kind of licks you up and down again. Right. So, see you in the spring. Welcome at the Boulder Down estate at any time. Ish. Good day. Well done.
How much gold is here?
What? Your
excuse me.
earnings?
Oh,
We agreed on.
Excuse me.
Yes.
If I may, the city here, do you keep... who would I speak to about some sort of records for those people that live in the city? Is there some place I may go?
Records of people that live in the city.
Some sort of... Well, I mean, the city seems fairly organized. Is there some sort of record for people who pay their taxes and such?
Just normal people, not criminals.
I'm not sure. I suppose people that pay their taxes?
Well, the taxes are all dealt with by the guild, I suppose. Try the Guild of Knowledge. Find a little gnome and put them to work. That's what they do.
Find a little gnome.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you called your... I look to drift, and then I just kind of fall flat on my face as I let go.
Ta-ta! He walks out. He steps outside. There's clearly like a bunch of people out there waiting for him as well. As he walks out, you can hear him just like, right, off we go, a night of drinking. And he's gone. He's gone. There's loads of them.
Can I lock the door behind him, like as he's leaving, so that nobody else can come in?
There is no lock on the door.
Oh, fuck.
There is a key lock, but you don't have the key. You could potentially lock it with a key, but there is no like internal latch.
Okay.
Iro, are you okay?
Yeah, Iro.
He got really, I don't know.
How much did he have?
I don't know.
Like,
I didn't even know he was drinking while helping me out. Iro?
Iro?
Maybe we should let him sleep.
No.
Should I have been drinking?
No, you were fighting. You did everything right. You did a great job.
He was drunk while helping me?
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently. Or maybe
Iro?
you knocked it down after you won. I mean, it was pretty stressful. Iro?
It's possible
I
I'm
slap your
asleep
face.
taking my clothes off.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. But
He's like in the coins. He's like
Your
rolling
face a
in the
little bit.
coins, and they're
Rolling.
like stuck to his sweaty back as he rolls over.
Iro,
I think
let
maybe
him-
we should. Well, we could sleep, but how long are we allowed to stay here?
I don't know. I think I'm supposed to meet with the king, and I think
Oh.
I have a lot of things to do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can do
but-
that. It's not a problem.
Until they
can you
get us, I say we
carry
just
him?
wait.
So is there like a place where he can rest, like a couch or something?
There's like 3 chairs and a table. That's it. It's like a cell. There's really not much going on. There is some food, drink, water and wine on the table, and there's some fruit in a bowl at the center. But there is like nothing else in here. It's really very plain.
Can I
No
can I
windows,
start
nothing. Sorry.
checking how much money there is in here?
Yeah, you sit and count. And there is 2,001 gold pieces in there.
Good lord.
And that's just from the Boulder Down?
That's the Boulder Downs. You also
At
have
least you
the
could get a room that has more than one bed.
you have the gold that you found from the performance at the beginning.
Okay.
And did the king give you some gold? I feel like he.
did.
I can't remember if he did or he didn't, but if
Well,
he
we
did,
had the prize for winning, and then we had
Yeah.
the Boulder Down prize.
right.
It's a lot of money.
So you should have all of the gold in Rosegard.
I feel right now.
I can't remember whether he gave. I don't know why I didn't write this into this.
I
part
didn't
of
add
the
any
thing.
gold in my inventory yet.
All right. Well, add this. 2,000 gold from Boulder Downs. I cannot remember. Did you already add it? Because you must have already spent some, Iro.
I spent the money that was in the first round.
You got.
We earned about 200 something gold, and I spent some of that.
Okay. I assume we're just going to say the king gave you the money just so we can do it now. You have an extra 1,001 gold pieces from the winnings, as well as the magical item, which was Peacekeeper the Sword. And the winnings will just say Iro's got. So you can just add 3,001 gold pieces to your inventory, which is
Great.
the most gold I've ever given out
Yeah,
in a
that's
campaign.
insane.
3,001?
in one go.
My weight is ridiculous.
So it's fucking heavy. Yeah, it's like a sack of gold.
Am I holding it, or Iro, do you want to hold it?
He's laying in it.
I'm not even like I tried to it's unconscious. I just take my clothes off when I'm sleeping, and so it's like half. It's all like lazy. Like there's half a shirt on, and like my pants are like pulled down to my knees, and I'm just
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm destroyed on top of them.
I guess you add it for now. and then you can distribute it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up, and he'll probably 70-30 me soon.
Buy some shit, yeah. So I guess you guys are gonna take a little rest here. We can push forward in some time. You guys kind of hanging out, just chilling. You can relax. If you want, you can do short rest bullshit.
That'd be great.
Which is hit die and anything you get back on a short rest, which is spells. I can't remember if you didn't do Kaioken times 20, did you?
No.
So you're good. So
I'll do a couple of hit dice.
You can do hit dice. Anyone can do hit dice, and all of your short rest stuff you can return.
Change that name.
Spells and any bullshit that comes back. About 2 hours pass, and although you're not aware of it outside, it is the very, very early dusk. The sun is beginning to hang low in the sky, but it's still sort of daytime when there's a knock on the door this time. Cursebreaker, is it?
Yes.
Who's there?
That is I.
A crack open and her face peers around. You see a gentleman that you've never seen before, but he is very clearly one of the Rose Guard military who act as the guards and the stewards for this event, and he pokes a head round. A human man, scruffy, wild-looking hair, kind of old-looking. This guy, maybe pushing into 50. As he looks around the corner, he says, "Ah, right. I'm here to take you up to the palace."
The palace?
Yeah, who's coming? Just you three?
Where's 19?
Yes. I don't know.
19.
I'm gonna go out in the hallway real quick.
Just a minute.
Yeah, what? Yeah, right.
Just a minute.
Yeah, sure. I'll just ask the king to wait. And he closes the door.
God. Okay.
You can hear a muscle. There's a
Hero,
couple of people outside.
I am slapping your face now, pretty hard. Hero, wake up.
Do I have to roll anything to make this, to do this?
Yeah.
How long was your hangover thing? Countdown?
So long.
You just said it was horrific. I don't think you gave me a countdown.
I thought there was a countdown. I'm sure there was a countdown.
Yeah, you said it's the most drunk you've ever been in your life.
I'm sure there was a hangover countdown that we rolled for.
And you didn't vomit? Eee.
Oh, no, I threw up a few times. What are you talking about?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure there was a countdown timer.
There was a timer.
Let me see if I can find it
That's
real
saying
quick.
3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Then I think, yeah, give me a con save with disadvantage.
Please just get up. Please.
I hope I fail.
I know I need you.
2.
Yes. Oh my god.
2.
Yes.
He's awake, and you wake up, Iridir, but you are you immediately chunder. You just sick down
Who
yourself.
woke me up?
You swallow
Yeah,
back
me.
half of it. Give me a dex save or a sleight of hand check, Rin, to try and avoid just the immediate.
Well,
Barely. You bring your hand up as the sick. He then swallows a bunch of it down. Iro, your head is killing you. You feel super sick, super nauseous, and it's
should we just leave him here then?
it's probably not going to end for the entire day, night, till tomorrow.
Iro, how much did you drink?
Not a lot.
You are poisoned. Status.
It was the.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
It was the.
Iro, we're going to see the king.
It was the potion.
What potion?
The potion. So that I could keep you inspired.
Oh, wait, so you didn't just drink the entire time I was fighting?
No, I didn't drink the entire time you were fighting.
You took a potion to help inspire me more?
Well, of course. What else was I supposed to do?
I grab him by the face. You're the best!
What you
Con save with disadvantage.
Oh shit, I forgot.
His eyes are all like red, half lidded. You grab him.
I have to do a con save?
No, him.
Oh, okay.
You can make me a dex save with disadvantage if he fails the con save.
Disadvantage, Ian?
Yeah, disadvantage. That's already a fail, but that is a 0, a natural 0. Roll me a dex save with disadvantage because you're grabbing him, so you're not. It's gonna be harder to do.
Okay.
See how this
Disadvantage.
plays out. 12.
Not bad.
Yeah, you don't get it in your mouth. That's all that means. He is sick. It goes in his hair. Iridir, it's all in your hair. It runs down it really hurts. It's like instant like stomach twist. The sick it's like projectile. It just blah over your already dirty, kind of bloody, now sick covered, fanciful clothes down the front of you.
I'm going to meet the king.
Hooray!
Okay. That's okay. Just take it off and switch clothes.
With what? I won't look fancy anymore.
But that's okay. You are fancy. Your presence, it radiates. You don't need fancy clothes to see the king.
You want me to see the
there's
king
3
naked?
coins. There's like 3 coins stuck to my head, like on my face, just like stuck there. Yes, very fancy.
I do actually have a spare set of clothes. They're gonna be
Clothes?
for you,
I
though.
have clothes. Would you like one of mine? It might be a little large on you.
Yeah, I just need something. I would think I need to be clean.
Yeah, of course. Here, go ahead. To take your shirt off, and we'll take one of Eero's. Eero, do you have something nice that's not covered? No, keep that on. Keep that on. And cowboy, keep it on. But we need something for Drift.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Just
Bend
tell me
over
where
to
it
my
is. and I'll
backpack.
get- Okay. Is it in here?
Oh wait. I go into my bag and I run like to the corner and grab my bag and I go through it. And I have not used this yet, and I'm very excited to use this. None of you know I have this even. I pull out the cloak of many fashions. And I say, this was a gift from my dad. And I put it on over myself. And pretty much what it does, while wearing the cloak, you can use a bonus action, what I don't even need to do. It changes the style and makes the garment whatever I want it to be. So I'm just gonna make it a very nice, beautiful,
That looks lovely.
like kind of cape. I wanna be like I'm pulling off a cape right now.
Okay.
You are pulling off that cape, Drift.
You do
Thank
so.
you.
It
Great.
still smells like sick.
Yeah, you should maybe take the shirt off that you have underneath it, though. Because
Why?
I can kind of smell. I can,
Oh. Oh, okay.
doesn't
Okay.
smell the greatest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I take the
Okay.
cloak off.
There you go.
There's a knock on the door.
Coming.
We're coming. Do you want me to come with you, or?
Cloak on. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you should
okay.
all. Eero, are you gonna be okay to meet the king?
That'll be just fine. I walk over to the water.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
I'm gonna take like the pitcher of water and just
Okay.
dump it all
Where's
over
it?
myself. And then I just do the
L'Oreal.
shake.
Just
I open
war and
the
sick
door.
L'Oreal advert. Just,
But there's,
Vomit all over him.
there's coins stuck
Breathe
in my face.
Coins.
And like,
Gotta
I'm
do
just-
it.
real
We
nice.
gotta do a L'Oreal advert.
Really nice.
Okay,
And then you open the door. As you open the door, you see 4 military men. 2 of them humans. The guy that you saw before, who's a little older. One that's a little younger, maybe in his 30s, a little thinner. Both of them have long swords on their hips, and they just seem to be in conversation. Behind them is 2 Warforged, which look like exact copies of 19 as you first encountered him, with that kind of red brick paint all over. Though they have no internal lights kind of for their eyes. They appear to be unkindled. Each one is carrying a lance on their back as opposed to the greatsword that 19 carries. But other than that, they look the same. Obviously 19's had his upgrades and his changes, but as you first saw him with his paint. And the 2 soldiers sort of turn and look at all of you as you step out. The gentleman that first knocked on the door says, "All right, you ready? So wait, you're curse breaker, yeah? And you are Eero, dear. You, I assume, are Rin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that what happened to the big lad? Didn't you ever Warforged?
What did happen to him?
He won't be joining us today, unfortunately. But he sends his regard.
Is he okay?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
sure he's fine.
Okay, well, that's all right. Okay, fine. Yeah, follow me. We're going up to the palace. So be careful. Don't mess around too much. And when we get there, well, we'll tell you what to do when we get there. All right. And he starts to walk away. The Warforged turn kind of at the same time and start moving with him. And the last guard, the younger gentleman, puts a hand on his sword and nods to each of you. And yeah, follow them.
Yep, of course.
Eero, you got something on your face. I'd take the 3 gold pieces off of his face.
Wrinkles his nose as you walk past a little bit.
Thank you. I suppose we can use those later.
And you guys are led out of the Colosseum and back through the festival. There's a lot going on. There's just people kind of just milling around. It's a lot busier out here than it was the first 2 times you came in, because most of the people that were in the Colosseum when you guys all arrived are now out for the most part. You can still hear music being played, and there's a lot of people moving back and forth and looking at all of the little trinkets in the shops and things like that. You move past the tents with all the various potions. The blue dragonborn gives you a wave. The gentleman selling all the animals, a cat hisses at you.
Wait, is the owl still there?
The owl turns and looks at you. In fact, it probably just looks straight at you and follows you as you're walking along.
Can I, as I'm walking, can I just yell out, "How long will you be open?"
Oh,
The
God.
gentleman in the thing turns and looks and says, "I am sorry. What?
How long will you be open? Will you be here tomorrow?
Yeah, we will be here for 3 days.
Thank you.
Okay."
See something you like, Drift?
They had this owl. Tells the future.
Really?
Actually, I forgot what it did.
That's what it does.
Okay, yeah, it tells the future.
Why
I love owls.
That's why.
The soldiers kind of prod you along. Yeah, come on.
We're walking it.
You're already-
Okay,
you're
all
already
right. On our way.
Waited for bloody ages. I don't know what you were doing. All right, and they kind of prod you along, and you exit the festival fields and head back across the bridge. Generally speaking, Drift, people do actually cheer for you and sort of shout your name as you're walking along. When they see you or recognize you in between the guards and the others, you hear people shout kind of, "Curse breaker, hey!" And they kind of...
Hello.
There's quite a few people that seem to know who you are and shout after you, and a lot of the time the soldiers insist that they stop and get out of the way, and they generally do so. And you're led through this city again, kind of all the way over this bridge, back along the main roads, and you've done this trip a couple times, and you pass back into the city, and even though it's nighttime, you notice that the city's beginning to fill up again. It was a little barren where people were all in the festival, and you guys are taken over to the palace.
I realize we have like 3 bodyguards with us, but I would like to keep my eyes open, and I'm trying to be a bodyguard for Drift right now. I'm terrified that someone's gonna come and grab him.
All right, give me a perception check.
11.
11. You do not see Lee Harvey Oswald on the knoll. He's out there.
Nice. Nice reference.
I mean, you look around, and for the most part, people just seem to be doing their own thing. Obviously, a few people do stop and go, "Oh, look, that's him. That's that one that won. Hey, curse breaker, innit? Hey, hey!" And a few people clap, and you see kids and stuff kind of running after you a little bit. But the guards are quick to like usher them away. The big, burly-looking Warforged. A lot of people look up and their eyes widen and they scurry away. Again, you haven't seen too many Warforged in the city. You know that they're around, and you will have seen a couple of them milling about. But for whatever reason, they have pulled out 2 of them to bring you along. And even the people who are used to seeing the city they're not that bothered by the guards, but they see the big Warforged and they run away. Kids running down alleyways and stuff like that. You're led back across towards that area where the Boulder Downs estate was, and the houses become a lot more roomier. They're all detached houses. Some of them have those kind of lawns and grounds. And you circle around a plateau, which is a natural kind of plateau at the center of the city with the palace on top of it, inside of its own white walls. You're led back up and around, and then you head upwards through the kind of high-end portion of the town and up through a set of walls, white walls, just like a lot of the richer areas have these kind of white stone walls. There's a separate set of walls on top of a small plateau that leads you into the palace grounds, and this area is excessive, pretty excessive. The Boulder Down estate, with its nice grass lawns that are trimmed, is kind of nothing compared to the actual palace grounds. There are these huge green lawns and shaped trees and things like that you notice. There's a set of cobbled, very clean looking as well, cobbled paths that lead to the various buildings here. There are a lot of smaller buildings around this central architectural marvel of the palace. Each of the buildings themselves look like they were probably built by the same architect. They all have this kind of slight level of whimsy to them, almost as if the architect wanted each of the awnings and things to have like a curl on the end, and the colored windows all have slightly strange shapes at the tops and bottoms and things like that. There's a lot of it's not like crazy Alice in Wonderland twists, but like the architecture is very specific here, and you notice it. It's a lot of curls and rounded corners, which are quite hard to do. All these archways and great colored glass windows and things, which is just unbelievably new to your eyes as you step through the palace grounds. And there are people here too. They're moving back and forth between the various buildings. A lot of them soldiers, and they appear to be in shining armor. Some of them are wearing very similar armor to Sir Sieg, who was a palace guard, and you notice that some of the armor here is a little different. Many of them don't have that red robe. They just have like big shining armor with like golden trim and stuff like that on. And they're moving around. There are also scholars here in red robes and dark robes, clutching sort of expensive looking books and moving back and forth. And as the soldiers usher you towards the palace itself, you look up and see this kind of central kind of classic Disney looking palace with a set of towers that spiral upwards at the top. The brilliance of the white in the vaguely kind of waning dusk light, still hardly dulled. And they push you just straight towards a set of massive doors, just unbelievably large, that lead into this ridiculously high ceilinged hallway. And again, similar to when you went into the Boulder Down estate, this just ridiculously over the top set of
beautiful
hallways, and
I've never seen anything like this before.
And the walls are marbled. They're punctuated with kind of oil paintings and framed in gold, and these vases and artworks, busts. As you're led down like a central corridor, the people that were bustling around continue to do so. They kind of run in front of you a lot. People are moving around a little quicker in the palace, and they're moving from little hallways into nooks and then up stairwells and around corners that lead to who knows where. You see the guards kind of move out of the way of you, kind of thing, as you're sent down the hallway, and then behind you it all carries on. But you're led just down a central corridor and into a very large and very empty throne room. You're just pushed through doors, through archways, down a central thing until you see a naturally lit room, which is bolstered by a lot of candelabras that run down either side. They're standing off the ground. There's tapestries and red flags and lots of like rose guard reds and golds, like regalia kind of hanging down this enormous room. And as soon as the doors open before you, you see a red carpet that leads all the way up to a very red crimson throne, upon which sits the king, covered in new regalia, a set of clothes that are slightly less overtly fanciful than the ones that he was wearing at the festival. And he's got this crown on his head, and it's a different one to the one he had in the festival. It looks slightly lighter and thinner, a single ruby at the center. And as you guys step in, there's a big crunch very quickly behind you as the doors close, and The guards stop behind you, the Warforged to one side, and the king continues to sit. He doesn't stand. He just looks somewhat up as you guys move down this hallway. And it's pretty quiet in here too. There is plenty of guards. There are more guards that look like those palace guards. They could be Sir Sieg, but slightly thinner, standing on either side at many of these awnings. There's about 6 of them around the actual throne area. And your footsteps, each of you, all 3 of you, echo kind of off the walls. No one is making a sound as you approach the king. His face looks kind of dour. Maybe not the expected look of a celebrated victory, as he's kind of sitting there like one hand kind of resting on the side of the throne. On his right there is a very tall looking elf. He's dressed quite plainly, black hair, long and straight, and he's holding a book open with a quill poised above a blank page, just sitting. And on the king's left is a half-orc that Iridir Drift you will recognize as Inquisitor Sath, that black robes, plain black robes, and he's got a book under his arm and a little set of spectacles on a very broad green-skinned nose. And what do you guys want to do?
I sort of walk a bit awkwardly up.
Wow.
And
Looks so unimpressed.
I say, Your Majesty, it's a pleasure to see you again. Thank you for seeing us.
The king looks and says, yes. And the elf, I believe his name was Iridir. Iridir, yes. Very good show and all that. And the victor of the day, Cursebreaker.
Yes, this is Drift the Cursebreaker. Yes, sir.
Yes. Very good.
Hi, sir.
So, on to business then. Of course, this meeting is part of your winnings. How are you?
I'm ecstatic. I'm great. It was what a fun tournament. I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life, to be honest.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm okay. Right, well, lovely.
Why just okay?
I'm very busy. So, I believe you wanted to speak to him, Inquisitor Seth, before they left. The Inquisitor turns to you and he steps down in front of where you guys are and says, good to see you again. You remember me now?
Yeah, of course.
A few more questions if you don't mind, and then you can be on your way.
Is this about what happened at that shop?
He opens his book and turns a few pages and says, I see that you have brought your friend Rin with you. Good to meet you. I am Inquisitor Seth.
Hello.
I was looking into some business that you may have been a part of to do with
He thinks that we killed the blacksmith.
No, I do not believe that you killed the blacksmith, or I would not let you stand in front of my king.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
I believe that your friend, known as 19, might have been a little more involved.
How so?
Heavily armored boot prints, great sword markings on the wall. It is possible that he was involved. They would not suit you, they would not fit you, and certainly not a light-footed elf like this one.
But he was with us when we all went to sleep that night. How would he have been a part of that?
Well, these are the questions for the Inquisition. But
Go ahead and ask your question.
Curiosity, how many Warforged are there in the city?
How many Warforged are there in the city? The elven man turns and says, in the city, I would imagine somewhere between 300 to 500. Not many of them kindled.
300 to 500. Yet friend is singled out.
Well,
Ooh.
Eero, he doesn't make a good point about the fact that he's wearing the armor.
Inquisitor Sath says, the
Doesn't
armorer
matter.
was last seen talking with you, and this Warforged, not one of the others. The Warforged do exactly as they are commanded. There are not many that are kindled in the city. Most leave very quickly and explore and find themselves. Those that come back usually rejoin the military. This one, he points to one of the unkindled Warforged. He says, you stand on one foot, and it just stands on one foot. You see?
So if someone else commanded the Warforged to do one of these acts, what's to say that they wouldn't do it, regardless of their affiliation with the armor smith or not?
He says, a good point, of course, but Warforged, did you kill an armorer? The Warforged, just in that sort of similar 19-esque voice, says, I did not. You see, we can command them. It is very hard for the unkindled to hide their eyes.
Right.
So, what's your questions?
You see, my questions pertain to something a little different. There are certain oddities that have not gone unnoticed. The king is sitting there, just kind of half-lit, just kind of falling asleep in his arm. He says, the drunkard, named 19 in the tourney, claimed to be a war hero but never served. And yet you are traveling with one known as 19, the Warforged. Do you know why he claims his name?
No, we were getting ready for the next fight. We didn't even really get an opportunity to see the person.
He side-eyes you a little bit, Rin. Lingers on you for a moment. What about you?
What about me? What questions do you have for me?
Any reason to believe this gentleman took the name 19 as a group of people, one of which, known as 19, would enter the tournament,
No.
sully the king's good name?
Completely baffles me, sir. Sorry.
Give me a
I don't know why he
deception
would do
check.
that.
11.
That is a perception check.
She's rolling right now.
An 8.
Oh, fuck.
He lingers on you for a moment longer and
Oh!
says, Yes, of course. Why would you have any involvement? His name is Malcolm Cole, a drunkard. We
Do
believe
I
he
know that
may...
name?
No.
Okay.
He says, we believe he was hired by a group of thieves, vagabonds, to upset the kingdom. There are many gangs that operate in town. The Blood Grips, he looks across you all, the Kersharian, several others. But yes, why would you have any involvement? The Wizards, they claim that Walter the Red was killed, and a woman stole his body away. Who was she? He looks across each
Who?
of you.
Oh,
Killed? He wasn't killed, was he?
I feel
not
like you
that I
don't know,
saw.
really.
Walter
So.
was walking around, wasn't he?
Yes, it looked that way, of course. The Wizards claim something slightly different, but we are not too sure. Of course, young Drift, and he focuses on you. Eero, give me a deception check. And he focuses on you for a moment, Drift. He says, why did you kill Walter?
21.
Why did you kill Walter, the Red?
He told me he was gonna kill me.
What?
Give me a persuasion check.
Drift, is this true?
I'll talk about it later.
Okay. Now hold on a minute. I thought this was supposed to be a meeting with the king, and now you're turning it into some inquisition.
The persuasion is not good on an 8. It doesn't sound too impressive, but Inquisitor Sath kind of says, yes, it is unfortunate that we had to turn this meeting into an inquisition, but we do this twice a year. It is really just for the people who are watching. The elf steps forward and says, yes, it really is just for the people watching. They imagine in their heads that it's this wonderful, hoo-ha, we go and meet the king, and he's wonderfully knighted, and you get a sword, and you go off and tell tales, of course, as you travel the country doing good deeds, but that's not quite the case, yes? We just have to keep up a good public relations.
Am I not gonna be knighted?
The Inquisitor says, he closes his book and says, murder is harshly scrutinized, you understand.
It was self-defense.
Walter has tried to kill before. He has been stood in this very room. He has been stood in the Inquisition. We believe he has ties to other organizations, and you brought my investigation to a very swift halt, unfortunately.
Sorry.
It looks like he was shooting some sort of spell once Drift asked him to yield. When he was about to attack him, he said, yield. And Walter, he yelled something and he threw up his hand and there was fire.
The wizards are very powerful, sir.
Yes, but Drift did not know that.
They are aware of illusionary magics, the truth. Magic is very powerful, a very useful tool for me. You must understand these questions. I already know the answers to them. Drift, you will be fed and looked after for 6 months. You will take part in the spring tournament, and you will lose. And then you will be placed in jail for some time. You must understand you are going to be under arrest for murder.
For self-defense?
You claim self-defense, and that is your right.
How long will I be in jail?
That, of course, will be up to your jailer and the Inquisition above me. This was really
That'll
not
look great
my
for
case.
public relations.
The king says, Inquisitor, this young man was involved in some other things, no? At the town, Drit? The Inquisitor says, yes, he was my liege. Then is he not some sort of hero that we can... but by decree, we are not to speak of Drit. Captain Stonesworn, his message reported the valor outside of Drit, no? Isn't this man a hero? This boy, a hero who attempted to save our very own soldiers and then wanders into town and just callously murders someone in front of a... It doesn't make any sense. That is true, but murder, sir, the wizards. Yes, wizards, schmizzards, okay. You met with Captain Gregor and Stonesworn, no? And the king kind of sits up a little.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, we met them.
He states that you saved him, his men, you helped them with a spectre, a ghost.
Yes, it was a brave event that Drift managed to take care of. We assisted him.
He single-handedly slayed the specter, actually.
Yes.
Yes, I was in the meeting. We can't let people officially know about Agni and all that. The explosion, the fire. Yes? Didn't you say you were from the other town, Killish? Rock? Where are you from, boy?
Yes, Killish. That's where I was born.
Right. This bastard Agni has destroyed your hometown. Then he destroyed another town. And then he destroyed another town. And then my men were sent in to help you. Is that not right, Sath? As I understand it, sir, yes. And then my men, who were helping, were helped in turn by this boy. Is he not a courageous citizen, as opposed to a murderer? Yes, sir. And was not Walter the Red a murderer in his own right? Was he not involved with that disgusting band of wretched brigands, or whatever they are? As we believe it, sir, yes. So then, has he not done us a favor in killing him? It is not quite as simple as that. Not quite as simple as that. Are you calling me a dullard, sir? No, sir. Of course, he is courageous, but the rules, of course, which were made by my family 500 years ago when we settled this place. The rules state this, and this alone. You, Drift, are a knight? No?
Yes, soon to be.
A knight of Rosegard. Yes? A savior of my own band of men out there. And this Inquisition and all this sounds to me like you did a good thing.
Yes. Sir.
Yes. Got a little carried away in combat. Yes? I think we've all been there. Haven't we all been through a fucking war? Inquisitor Sath. Yes, sir. Have you not done things, wretched things, to land you in your own position, Inquisitor Sath? Yes, sir. Right. Dismissed. Thank you. Yes, sir. And Inquisitor Sath kind of shoots a look over to each of you and then steps around you and starts to head towards the doors. The king sits and watches him step, the footsteps, as he steps out. The king then turns to the elf and says, Walter, the story. Tell him the story. Yes, sir, of course. Walter the Red was a young man visiting High Hall from Trebello when the Alexandrians struck his caravan during the war. They mistook it for a military caravan, you understand. All the Thelmecians were killed, along with Walter's parents and an older brother, and he ended up here on the street as a vagabond. He got involved with a terrible group of, we thought Kersharians, bandits, but that doesn't seem to be the case. There is another group at work in the city that we don't understand. They often go by various names. The Night Blood is one of them. We've heard talk of another name, Praeterita. Dastardly deeds. It seems Walter the Red has been networking and attempting to get this very meeting with the king. We don't know why, presumably to sway him, attack him. We're not sure, but we've been actually counting on Walter to win one of these tournaments one day so that we can spring a trap. Inquisitor Sath was rather forlorn that you ended his life. I don't doubt whatsoever that what you say is true and that he attempted to take your life during the fight, although what the wizards say is a little troubling. Not sure quite why you chose to do it. It seemed as though you'd won. But magic is magic. The king stands up. Right, so, the sword then. Did you bring it? Peacekeeper.
Yes, of course. Pull it out and I hand it to him.
He smacks you on each shoulder with the flat of it. Bang! Bang! Hands it back to you instantly. Knighted!
So wait. I'm a knight?
Yes. Knight Drift the Cursebreaker. And you're from Trebello.
I'm from I'm from Trebello.
Yes. I suppose that'll be the end of it. Make sure the Inquisition don't bother them again. Yes? Yes, sir, of course, I'll try, though the Inquisition do operate a little outside of even our respects most of the time. Yes, I know, but it's my city, isn't it? Yes, sir. Right. Where will you be going next, Drift? Tell me.
Wherever my friends want to go. Where do you guys want to go?
We were looking into something, Your Majesty. I've been
A tavern that's nicer than the one that we're in right now.
Tavern. A nice tavern.
Yeah, just somewhere to stay that has more than one bed. We've all been sharing one tiny room.
I don't think I've ever visited a tavern before. Can you
Of
find
course
them a nice tavern?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not necessary.
Do you want?
No,
Tavern.
sorry,
oh,
you
sure.
want-
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
The king kind of looks across each of you and says, "Right, Drift. So you are actually expected to return in the spring to fight in the tournament."
And you still want me to lose, or was that just what the
Uh,
Inquisition wanted?
You'll be representing the Knights of Roseguard, so you should really rather try your best, wouldn't you say?
He'll win again, Your Majesty, I assure you.
Of course, and I won't. What happened in that last fight? The whole thing. That will never happen again.
Oh, I really honestly do not care. The wizards themselves created Godfrey, you know that. An absolute beast of a creature. They resurrect him every year for these horrible shows. It's the only thing that keeps the morale up in the city.
They resurrect him?
Yes, I truly have no idea. Do you have any idea what he is? No, sir. I'm afraid I do not. The wizards have their secrets, and I would rather they keep them to themselves. Yes. Right.
How did he lose?
That I don't know. Mr. Fenn? Actually, as far as we're aware, there was the woman, she was fast spells. We're not too sure. Even the wizards are a little confused with that one. There's talk of vampires? Vampires?
Vampires.
Mr. Fenn, I believe you should take a rest. You've had a long few days. Vampires during the day? I don't think so. Bard,
What's a vampire? Yes?
See you later.
I'll need you to construct a story, a poem, a song. What do you do?
Whatever you like, Your Majesty. A story that will absolutely enthrall the public.
Yes. Rather a story to do with the valor of Drift at, let's say, Trebello, how he saved the day, similar to what you said before. Whatever it is, write it down.
Write it down. Is this for some sort of presentation, Your Majesty? If you require, I would be more than happy to perform such a
We have bards.
such a.
Just the story.
Please forgive him, Your Majesty. There was a potion that he took. He's not usually like this.
Hmm.
He
Yes.
wouldn't have consumed so much drink to come and visit you, but that last fight he
Look
took
at
a potion.
myself. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
quite a mess. Hang on a moment. Mhm. And I cast disguise self upon myself, and I just clean myself up.
There's a moment where like all of the guards in the room suddenly bring like part of their sword out, and like you
Yeah.
feel the Warforged step forward, and the king just holds up a hand. It's a harmless spell. What's wrong? I barely know anything of fighting, and you people jump at a fly buzzing in the window. Do you know? I always wanted to travel myself. That's what I wanted to do. I want to go to the jungles of Rysarian, but I'm stuck here
That
because
sounds like a wonderful, wonderful thing, Your Majesty.
yeah.
I've also always wanted to travel.
So perhaps when you return, I wouldn't mind hearing your stories, Drift.
Of course. The first stop will be the jungles of Ryserian.
Yes, well, be careful of the diseases that I hear are rife. They're quite wild over there. Drow, I think. Yes. I always wanted to see what it would look like. Well, I'm stuck here, of course. Rather boring, yes. Father decided to, he kind of looks suddenly to the elf at his right. Yes, perhaps we'll save that story for another day. The Warforged that you have been traveling with, 19, is it?
Yes, 19.
Where is he?
I believe that he went on some sort of expedition through the city. There were many sights to be had. We were sort of beset by them when we first arrived, Your Majesty. It was a very...
How long has he been kindled?
1 month, I think. A fortnight.
Not very long. He pulls up his book again and starts flipping through pages and says, truthfully, do you think he killed this armorer?
No.
I don't think so.
Couldn't hurt a fly.
Dwarves, yes? The blood grips?
Yes.
There are dwarves named the Blood Grips, Your
Yes.
Majesty. Yes.
It's what I thought. The king says, I know they claimed that the Warforged are princes of the realm, the sons of my father. Yeah, just like me, I was the only son, but the Warforged are princes in of their own kind. Whatever magic brought them to life, whatever he did, called himself the Life Bringer. Stupid name, wouldn't you say? Said goodbye to his family and friends and left suddenly. Yeah, never to be seen again.
Why?
Nobody knows. Disappeared, came back with an army at the end of the war. Ta-ta! Goodbye, I'm the Life-Bringer, he said. Walked out. The kingdom, of course, yes. We have to claim he died. Seen as abandonment at the end of the war, you know. He claimed sickness. But then I, Prince Wilmar Corrin II, crowned the next week. Glorious. So, any last things, Young Drift?
Do you have any means of travel? Is there anywhere I can take some of my winnings and maybe buy us a horse or something like that?
I have no doubt whatsoever you'll be able to buy yourself a horse with 1,000 gold pieces. But I don't know where Mr. Fenn. Yes, I can arrange for somebody to just. What do you need? Hard riding horses?
Yes.
A cart? A carriage? What?
A cart, carriage, riding horses. What do you guys think?
I don't think
Sounds
we
wonderful.
need a carriage. Okay.
Yeah, just some horses that we can ride.
3?
Can 19 fit on one?
I think 19 would need a...
Is he a Warforged?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warforged, sir.
Yes. There's a reason they fly around on those wyverns. They crush the horse's back after
How
half a
much
day.
for a wyvern? Where would we find one, sir?
I'm afraid I don't have any for sale. They are our wyverns for the army, the military. They're not going to... You'll have to figure another means of travel, I'm afraid.
Maybe
I
we could
suppose
put
a cart for now.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, a
put them-
cart would
cart.
work
put
then.
them in the cart.
Yeah, a cart.
Pop him in a cart. Mr. Fenn, when will you be leaving? The elf says.
Within
I would
the
say-
next few days, I suppose.
And
Yes.
Where are you staying?
Well, we haven't sorted that out yet. Remember? You were
I'm
gonna help us
staying.
find a new-
I can't remember the name of the place. The one with, help
Here.
me out.
Right, Eero. I mean, you've just been named the King's Bard. I don't think you'll be expected to go back there.
I had a performance tonight.
Oh, okay.
The Ironwell Inn is what I have written down for where you have all been staying.
Yes, that is where we're at.
Yes,
We're
yes.
gonna see if they have more rooms tonight. We'll be there.
Right. Yes, of course. Well, the festival does continue for 2 more days, of course. Right. Well then, he closes his book. Sir, my liege, king. Yes, well, if anybody asks, this was a wonderful meeting in which you were knighted and we ate cakes and drank tea.
It was a wonderful meeting.
Wonderful.
If you find your warforged friend before the Inquisition do, please direct him to me or Mr. Fenn. Mr. Fenn, the elf. Yes, the Inquisition are going to try and torture information out of him, I'm sure.
Out of 19?
Yes. They truly believe that he is involved with the Blood Crypts. It's a criminal organization, a family out of the...
He's a fortnight old. He doesn't know what involvement means.
If he comes here, will he be safe?
Well, we'll be able to decree it for ourselves that he is not actually responsible or involved with this criminal organization.
Okay, well, we'll go look for him now.
And please do stay out of trouble. You represent the king now. And also, perhaps you should find somewhere to stay that isn't the Ironwell Inn.
Right.
If you could make some recommendations,
Yeah,
that
could
would be
you?
wonderful.
We might be able to find you a private residence.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Wait, like my own house?
Yes, of course, yes.
That it would be my house?
Well,
Our house?
Yes.
Okay.
I can make you tea every morning.
The king is like already leaning on his side again. I own this entire city, so you can have a house.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Okay then.
That seems so large.
Wonderful to meet you. Return in the spring.
I'll be back. I'll be back to fight
Thank you.
for you. Where's my house?
Well, you don't have one yet. We'll find you.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Yes, you're quite welcome. Mr. Fenn, send in whoever's next. And Mr. Fenn claps his hands and the doors behind you. You can hear the hustle and bustle suddenly of all the people outside. There's a farmer standing there. Right, I've been waiting for 2 days to speak to the king. Yes. Goodbye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Good day, Your Majesty.
A little halfling farmer with a pitchfork is like stepping past you with a straw hat and
Stole my pigs.
yeah, literally. Someone stole my pigs. I'm telling ya, it was them bloody blood grips. As you guys are led back out, the same 2 guards that came with you, and the 2 warforged kind of fall in tow behind you, and they begin
Holy
to usher
shit.
you out of the palace grounds. That's where we're gonna go to a break.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Oh
I was
my
sweating bullets
God.
during that conversation. I just want you all to know.
So much. Oh my God. I accepted. I was like, in my mind, I accepted it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run away. I'm just gonna run away with this group of people and pray we never get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I wanted the king to be in this is just baller and a good guy, because kings are always.
Dude, he's a homie.
Yeah.
They're always like double crossing people or evil or whatever. I mean, he's got an issue with the fact that he is cooped up in the thing, and there's obviously the poverty line, but he is benevolent and he's kind of a good guy. And kings are always.
Dude, he's a bro.
They're always
absolute
They're
bro.
always
I already know
assholes
something that we should do for him.
in stuff. And with one of the first things I wrote down when I wrote this was that the king is gonna be good. I was like, he's gonna be a good guy. I don't give a fuck, because I always want to make them evil. All right, we're gonna go to a little break here.
Oh my God.
Go grab
that's
yourself a drink at the tavern or some food, or go for a little wee. Make sure no one steals your pigs, and don't forget to follow the channel so that you can watch Halcyon City. Good God. Halcyon Unbound. I read the word city on my screen. After on the 11th?
The 11th of January, yes.
In 10 days. See you in a few minutes after the break.
Are you playing the trailer again?
Yes.
Yay!
Let's go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm gonna fast travel you peeps. Back to the Ironwell Inn, which is where you've been.
I'm just so happy with how that went.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy right now. I was not looking forward to it. I was nervous about today's episode because of what just happened. Like, I was nervous.
It could have gone really wrong, but the king is baller as fuck, so. Although he is a little. He's a little something. Honestly, the way I set this whole city up.
Somebody, that's for sure.
I set this whole city up as if it's run by different gangs, and I basically coded in the king and his palace as one of those gangs. Right? He's just got. I don't know. He's a king. So. We'll you guys will let out of that palace and then you're now at the Ironwell Inn. You got a table at the center of the Ironwell Inn.
We went back to the Ironwell Inn.
Yeah.
Drift did, because Drift was ushered there by lots of people, and they bought him 3 drinks, 3 whole drinks. Absolute mad lad. Sat you down at a table. And Nefene gave you a drink on the house, one for Iridir on the house. Rin,
On the house.
you also got a drink for 1 copper.
Cool.
You're not a famous bard or tournament winner. A lot of people probably keep coming in and like trying to high five you and be like, yo, what up, Curse Breaker? But I think for the most part, everyone in here kind of has done their hellos and they're just getting drunk and having fun. It's weirdly not as busy as you'd expect. Probably a lot of people are still making their way back from the festival. Night has just about fallen. Very early night. There's no word of a house yet. Or anything like that.
That's all I'm waiting for.
They said that they would send for you when the time comes. So I think, it's up to you guys what you want to do now, really.
Is it time to perform yet? What's going on?
It's been a while. Are you still drunk?
I don't know. Am I?
You're not drunk. You're just like mega super deadly hungover until tomorrow morning.
You're right, buddy.
Okay. Are you going to be able to perform?
I'll be fine.
Will this make you feel better? And I just hold up my hand straight to his face just to see if he'll talk or do anything.
Oh.
All right. Well, he did not
He's asleep.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can just rest. If you want to just fast forward, you can go to sleep.
I want to rage.
You are not a barbarian.
I want to.
It's
Sorry,
the most
let me use
niche
the correct
D&D
word.
joke of all time right there.
I want to party.
All right. I mean,
Okay.
everyone is partying around you, so.
So can
Like
I then
70,
just
80.
sneak into the room?
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
just
go to the room.
Slip
I'm
away.
really, I slip away into the room.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna fucking read some books.
Iridir, what are you doing?
Gonna perform, man.
All right.
Good luck.
Let's go, buddy. I'm watching.
With
Front.
disadvantage.
You feel like shit, so I think you have to. I mean, actually no, you're poisoned until tomorrow morning or until you sleep it off, which is not the same as a long rest, but you need to actually actively sleep it off. So yeah, everything is disadvantaged. This isn't me, just because every time he performs, I get a week of just hatred in the Discord channel for giving him
Because his performance is so good and then he rolls shit.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll roll first this time.
That's a good idea.
Ooh.
16.
What?
16 on a disadvantaged roll.
Amazing.
Still pretty great.
All right, I get up on the stage, and
It's because everyone's expectations are super low. He just blows them away.
He steps up on the stage and like someone throws a tomato
Yeah, they're like, oh god, this guy again.
He looks.
I catch it and I.
The person looks
Thank you.
suspiciously like me, but in like an old, like crappy old tunic, like food down the front, and, like farmer's boots. Yeah, you step up on the stage.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all here again at the Iron Well Inn. My name is Iro. If you have recently witnessed the events at the festival, I believe you would know my good friend over there, Drift the Cursebreaker. Excuse me, actually, I should say Sir Drift the Cursebreaker.
Hey, Sir Drift.
Winner of the festival this year. Thank you all for joining us here tonight to celebrate. Hopefully you will all enjoy some good drink and some good company and such. I am here to entertain you, albeit a bit, it might be a bit painful for me. You see, I have imbibed just as many as you have. And, well, tonight's entertainment will be a bit off the cuff. Thank you all for attending. Now, if I can ask all of you from the crowd, what sort of story would you like to hear?
No one is looking at you. I rolled a d20 to see how many people are looking at you, and it's a 1, which is a 0. Sorry.
Wait, I'm not even looking because someone came up to me. Someone came up
shaking your hand. Like,
shaking my hand and talking to me.
Rin just walked out, a door closes behind her.
And I say, all right, perhaps an adventure. An adventure then. Yes, excellent. Very well. An adventure. Why don't I tell you a tale of our very own knight, Sir Drift the Cursebreaker? Would that capture your attention all?
Everyone's looking at you now. 12 people are looking at you.
Oh my god.
Every time you mention Drift, like more people look and then they forget for a moment. So while you have their attention, there's like the immediate surroundings are all looking at you. And then obviously there's a lot of other people that are doing their own thing. But yeah, some people are now listening to you now that it's a story about Drift. Yeah.
Drift the Cursebreaker. I bet many of you did not know that Drift is only 19 years old, but
yeah, I thought he was about 12.
His adventures did not start just recently.
Yeah, he's only little. He looks about 5.
They started when he was but a young man. Yes, in his teenage years, Drift the Cursebreaker. And I start to play a sort of jovial tune on my lute, and I say, Drift the Cursebreaker, fresh from home, walked forth to visit his wonderful new love interest, a girl that many would see and be delighted by, a young woman by the name of Marcia. Yes, Marcia was a beautiful, beautiful young woman, far older than Drift, however. Yes, you see, Drift had a bit of a crush on an older woman, and, well, several from his town did as well. Marcia had, some would say, have been around. Marcia was a, well, for lack of a better word, a woman of the evening. You see, Marcia was a very gifted individual, and many throughout the town knew this. You see, Marcia happened upon Drift one day while Drift was out fishing at a nearby lake. Sitting down at the lake, Drift had not but a care in the world, and emerging from the lake, a very bare-skinned woman stepped onto the land, and here walked this lovely woman with dark, raven-colored hair, alabaster skin, and a pleasant smile upon her face, seemingly unconcerned with this young man staring at her. "Hello," she said.
Hi. Sorry.
Drift immediately announced his presence, and she sort of glanced up and down at him, and yet Drift's jaw could not be picked up off of the ground. You see, Marsha was completely nude, and this being the first time that Drift had seen a woman completely naked, he did what any young lad would. He stared, gawking, completely bewildered. She said, "A nice day, isn't it?" And he said, Yes, nice day, And she said, "What's your name?" I'm Drift. It's nice to meet you. Do you need help? I can help you. And she inclined her head and said, "Well, you're a bit young for me, but you're cute. Maybe in a little while, a little time." Walking over to Drift, she touched him on the cheek, gave him a peck, and said, "Call me in a few years," and walked off, picking her clothing up off the ground. Drift stared vacantly at her as she walked away from him, noticing that his fishing pole had been taken into the lake at the same time. Grabbing for his fishing pole, he dove for the water, fell in the mud, and the fishing pole was gone. But that was not stop Drift. No. He would not allow this day to go ruined. He would see this woman. She was obviously interested in him. She had seen what none of the other ladies in town had seen. She had seen his quality, his absolute ability to charm anyone that he meets. Yes, that's what it was. So, of course, Drift got himself cleaned up, headed back to town, put on his best clothes, and sought after Marsha. He walked up to the baker. Excuse me, I'm looking for, there's a woman, she's got black hair, and, she's very, I was curious, do you know this woman? She's tall, like a lot taller than me, and, she seemed really, do you know her? You're young Drift then? Yeah. Well, you might be talking about Marsha. Yeah, sure. That sounds like her. So she's really pretty and really, like white skin, and, I think she likes me. Well, she likes... How old are you? 13? Well, you know what? Let me see if my husband's around. And the baker walks off trying to find her husband. She comes back and says, my husband said that, Marsha had gone off into the woods. Yes, she's gone. She's left town. Oh. Well, are you sure? I think she really liked me. It doesn't sound right. Hang on. Runs back into the back. Comes back a moment later. My husband said that she was attacked. Attacked? Yes, attacked. Ravaged by beasts. A bear and a wolf. A bear and a wolf? Whoa, we should get the whole town together. We should go after her. What are we doing here? Oh my gosh. Hang on. She ran back into the back. Spoke to her husband again. Comes back a moment later. My husband was mistaken. He said that Masha had gone to the town cleric. The cleric? Yes, the cleric. And off Drift ran, trying to find the town cleric. But when he arrived at the temple, he found not one, not two, not three, but 7 men, all looking for Masha.
Have you seen her? She was a very tall, black hair, beautiful woman. She came straight out of the woods. I have never seen a woman like that before. My God, she was... Hey, listen, look how you talk about my woman, all right? Hey, she was my woman. I saw her first. I did not. Yes, you did.
And they started a row. Drift, shocked by the fight, walked forward and said, excuse me, have any of you seen,
Shut up!
Everyone simultaneously turned to him. Drift, baffled, dropped his belongings to the ground. And he said, but I think she liked me. She smiled. She kissed me on the cheek.
She what? She what?
All the men began to surround Drift, knuckles cracking, faces stern, hatred gleaming in their eyes. I know him. He's that Drift kid. Yeah. How old are you? What do you mean you kissed her? I didn't kiss her. She kissed me on the cheek. Look, have any of you seen her? An old man sitting on a bench outside the temple looked adrift, smoking a pipe, haggard and weary. He said, I seen her. I don't know what all the fuss is about, though. What?
Yeah, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Well, she wasn't no pretty lady or nothing. She said her name was Marcia. But, she must have been, what, 200, 300 years old? She had warts all over her face, long nose. She looked like some kind of witch.
Fuck you.
No, she was a beautiful woman. I don't understand. What are you talking about? Alas, the town in Drift had been tricked, because Marcia, unfortunately, was a hag.
Oh, fuck you, man!
Hey, everyone's clapping. They really enjoy it.
Not true.
Roll me 2d20.
It's not true. God damn it.
13 gold is at your feet by the end of it. While he's picking that up, Drift is sat there like gobsmacked.
It's not
Well,
true.
A little confused. He says, "No, it's not true." Somebody next to you says, "It sounded rather convincing to me."
I would. No. No.
She lifts her own glass up and turns to you and says, "Do you hear voices by any chance?"
Excuse me? Sorry, what?
She looks at you and she's got sort of green yellow eyes, and it's Muriel, the silence. She has that kind of lank, dark hair, a chain shirt with this like single plated arm, and these eyes lock onto you for a moment, and you feel like a little odd feeling kind of wash over you, but nothing too intense. It's just like a really intense moment as she locks eyes with you, and she says, "What do you call them, Drift?"
What do I call what?
The voice.
The voice.
The voice that calls you the sanguine one.
I call it.
Well, I took care of your little problem. And she drains her tankard and puts it down and stands up. You owe me one, okay?
I definitely owe you one.
Perhaps you can come and visit me and we can discuss this. Come alone, midnight. I'll meet you by the river, south of here. There's a tree that kind of hooks over like a hand.
Across the river before you cross.
South, it's the canal.
See you at midnight.
And she just casually walks out of the room. And Rin, in the room,
Yes.
what do you do?
I'm reading.
Writing?
Reading.
Reading?
Yes. My books.
All right, so you have a book or a set of books, a bag full of books.
I'll lock the door so no one can come in.
Right. Inside the bag is some really old looking books. As you kind of look over them, you see that they are some of them are rebound, but they look old as hecka. Old looking books in this bag. There's 8 of them, different sizes, different kind of states of quality, but for the most part they appear to be intact. Do you just pull them out at random and look at them?
What are the titles? Do they have anything on the? I know some of them are rebound, but.
Yeah, you just sit and look. You just lay them out on the bed and look at the titles.
Well, yeah, or like look through and in the bag before I pull everything out. But yeah.
Give me a D8. First one you pull out.
Sure.
Got to start somewhere.
Oops. Sorry. 4.
4. The first one you pull out is Places of Power by Thelmecia Tatherfell.
What do the table of contents say?
You open it up.
Specifically, I'm looking for something that might reference like a realm that has multiple levels in it.
This one doesn't have a set of contents. This one is just a bunch of well put together notes.
Okay.
Each of these books is there's no printing machine, so all of the books are kind of handwritten and old looking. They look like they might have been copied. This one looks like it's been copied multiple times, possibly sold or something like that. This one is super old looking. Out of all of them, it's the pages like feel a little delicate as you turn them, and they crinkle over. Glancing through it, it seems to be a book which references several notable sites of power. A lot of the pages are lost, some to age, some possibly torn out, and it looks water damaged as you start to like flick through some of these things. The parts of the book that are in a sort of state that you can make out what is going on with this book just states that there are all these several places of great power. It theorizes, or this person Thelmecia theorizes, that they were homes or experimental grounds for the beings known as the ancient magi, which were they're sort of like a race of people or something that seem to have been extinct, or they came before. A lot of people talk about them. It's not like a secret, but no one really knows. Scholars and stuff are way more interested in it. You have a lot more knowledge on it, so I'm just going to speak to you casually as you, because you know what the ancient magi is and generally have a decent amount of knowledge on it. One site that it references as a notable place of power that these magi from the before time were interested in is the Fey Glen, which is a big forest in the north of, it's in Lenadale, it's north of here. It's a notably kind of haunted forest, or so they say. Like, it's magical. People don't wander into it. A lot of people wander in and don't come out. People kind of don't fuck with it. This book states that the magic energy here is so extreme that it causes rifts, and then you probably read into it a little more, since this seems to be kind of one of the books that you were looking for. There are hauntings and aberrations, and possibly the ability to fall into the Feywilds themselves, which is a Fey-based plane that people generally believe in and is almost definitely in existence. But it would be like wild to just like a commoner or somebody who doesn't know about these things. It just seems insane, but very possible. Another notable site as you read through, you find, is Rosegard itself, the city that you're in. And the book references the location not as Rosegard though, but as the Grand Aeon Seal. You're just aware that it's Rosegard because there's an image, a drawing of the area where you are, where the river is. The book references, it misses a lot, and then speaks of something known as the Rune of Death Song.
I stopped there. I want to read more on that.
You can. It references it as being the most powerful of 5 runes that you can find. And then it states that the ancient magi were obsessed with these places of power, coveting them, warring over them endlessly, and that the runes are just old houses, homes, notable areas that they transformed or lived in or drained the magic or embolstered the magic, and it created these runes, and this is one of them, the Rune of Death Song.
Does it list the other runes by chance?
Doesn't.
Okay.
Not in this book. That is Places of Power by Thelmecia Tathviel. I will give you that information later on.
Okay. I was taking notes. Thank you. I would appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to do something weird.
Yeah.
I'd like to pull up the rest of the books, please. I want to see if one book in particular speaks to me, which sounds super weird.
All right, roll D7. Wait, what do you mean? You're just trying to feel? Or are you like looking at the titles and seeing which one stands out?
No, I'm not looking at the titles. I'm literally just seeing which one seems maybe magical or speaks to me in particular.
Roll me a D7.
2.
2.
Lucky number.
This book does not speak to you, but on the cover is, I don't know how to tell you this, a symbol that looks very similar to some tattoos you've seen before.
Okay. I pick up that book. What's inside that book?
You also notice it on another one of the books.
Okay.
Both of these books are written by somebody known as Reginald Tallis. You have The Time Before, Volume 3, and The Time Before, Volume 4.
Okay.
Both of
What
them
are the
have
other titles, just out of curiosity?
symbols. You've got The Time Before Volume 3, Time Before Volume 4 by Reginald Tallis. You've got Trinkets of the Ancient Magi by Angmar Chaucer. You've got Runes, Archaic and Ancient Language, Volume 1 by Letholdus Drake. You've got The Gates of One by Letholdus Drake and Reginald Tallis.
Oh my god!
You've got a book called Praeterita by Cedric Fairlight. Also, that was a random name, I promise. And it came back with Cedric Fairlight, and I was like, great. And then the last book is known as The Grand Aeon Seal by Remenon Cheba.
I want to read about the place of one, or the
Gates of One.
The Gates of One, just because I know I think that's Daddy Hasmel, but I don't think Rin would care that much compared to the other stuff. So, yeah, I want to look at the Time Before Volume 3. Well, I'll just open that.
Sure.
Kind of skim that.
Yeah, it's going to take you a while to read these books. So out of curiosity, the other two, what are you doing? Iridir in particular, because Drift, I think, is going to stay out all night.
I'm partying all night.
He's partying, potentially going to bugger off at 12 and meet with Muriel.
Oh, yeah. Ever since that encounter, I'm not partying as hard.
I'm going to roll for it because that was the worst hangover I've ever had. Like, normally I would also be partying, but I don't know. With the worst hangover I've ever had, I might reconsider.
You know what they say, the best way to get rid of it.
I gotta roll again. Fuck. I'm done as soon as the performance is done. If I see Drift just like having a good time, I go back to the room.
Yeah, like you get to the room and the door is locked. Like I think, Rin, you're sat cross-legged on the bed with all these books around. You go to pick up The Time Before Volume 3, and then the door starts to gung behind you.
Oh. Who is it?
The actual owner of this room.
Oh, I'm busy. Can you come back later?
Come back later?
Yeah, it's still early.
I'm exhausted.
I'm busy.
I don't care if you're busy.
I'm not opening the door, Earl.
What do you mean you're not kicking the door? What do you mean you're not opening the door? Do you understand what kind of day I've had?
Oh. Yeah, I'm not opening the door, Eero. Just go get some soup or something, some dinner. I'll be out later. You can have the room back.
We're not done with this yet.
Okay. Enjoy your dinner.
I turn around, fury on my face.
So bad.
So you go and get
this is the angriest anybody that knows Eero has ever seen Eero. So pissed. Super pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sort of like turn around. My own room. All right. Fine. Okay. All right. I walk back to the bar.
Okay, I'm listening for when he leaves. I'll pack up my books. And when he's gone, I'll open the door and I'll sneak out and then just close it.
All right.
And I'll lock it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the bar and I say, oh, the hell with it. Give me a bottle of wine.
There's a little halfling that heads over. The whole thing, sir?
The whole thing.
There you go. Silver piece.
A round for everyone.
Everyone, sir.
Did I stutter?
I'm gonna have to ask to see the gold first.
How much?
Let's see. There's a lot of people. Do I be this mean? I'll do this. I'll be this mean.
Helped someone win a
Be
bloody
about
festival.
225 gold just to cover everyone.
125? Are you insane?
Dude, there is so many people here. This is the biggest tavern in town.
I will buy everyone at the bar a drink. How's that?
Right, yeah, okay, that'd be 25 gold.
All right. 25 gold pieces.
And the little halfling looks at you like, yeah, I didn't think you had that much money. Like, you was pretty good in that, but like that story last time, I weren't all that. Right, one for you, and then one on. This one's buying everyone at the bar, a drink. So I've seen you all. Don't come running. The people rushing at the bar. No, I know it went. Oi, fuck off. No, not you neither. And he starts handing drinks out to people at the bar. No, come on, I was standing like right next to the bar. No. And then he's handing them out.
I need some friends to drink with me tonight. Who will drink with me?
Everyone is standing next to you now. This got way more attention than when you were on the stage playing a lute and shouting at them. They're all crowding around you now like, yeah, mate, how's it going? Yeah, that story was well good. You're the best at telling stories and that. Yeah, we saw you at the festival at the Coliseum. It was really good, mate. I'll have a drink.
Wasn't it? It was really good.
Really good, yeah. It was the best. It was. Oh, thanks. Rin, where you going?
Well, now I'll go back in the room and just read the books on mute. Fuck that, man. I'm getting ready to creep out of here, but I hear him like getting a bottle of wine for everybody. Okay, sure.
Let me tell you another story. And you hear, this is a story of Rin the Harlot.
Yeah.
It's just a spewing
Just
of
a
hatred
pure
about
slander.
Rin for the rest. Drunken, horrific stories about Rin the entire night.
Absolute
God.
slander. All right, so Rin heads back in, takes the books out, and begins to read them.
Yep.
It's up to you. I'm happy to just sit and fucking tell you all these books.
I mean, I would love to do that, but we don't have to do that like right now. But yes, I would love to. I'm thoroughly reading these books as much as I can.
Up
So,
to you. You
all
got
right.
the time by the sounds of it to read these
Yeah.
books. They're not all, again, they're all super old, and all of them are like in various states of decay.
Yeah. Which one looks like it's been used the most?
Which one looks like it's been used the most?
And which ones have been
Probably-
rebound?
One that has been rebound is the oldest looking one is very easy to determine. It's known as the Grand Aeon Seal by Remenon Chebe. It looks like it's been rebound twice.
Okay.
For sure, it's the oldest looking one there. But again, it still looks like a copy. What was the one you wanted before that? What did you want before that one?
Which one looks like it's been used the most? I think is what
Used
I
the
said.
most.
Like,
Give me an investigation check.
yeah. 15.
15. The one that looks like it's been used the most is the book known as Runes, Archaic and Ancient
Yeah.
Language, Volume 1.
Okay.
But it also looks relatively newish compared to some of the others. It looks like it's just been used well because a lot of people have read it to learn. It's a language teaching book kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I would like to read the rune of. I would like to read more about the rune of the death song, if there's any more information on that. If not, I'll read the time before volume 3 and 4 as much as I can. I'll skim it. If there's anything interesting, then I'll read more. Then I want to look at the rune book, and I'm looking specifically for anything about. I mean, the rune that we're looking for, that Daddy Hasmel told us to look for, but also anything about the language, specifically the old archaic language of the Magi. I want to read on that and I want to learn more about it.
Yeah. So skimming through The Time Before Volume 3 by Reginald Tallis. Again, this is another one that absolutely has been copied. It looks super old, but it's a rebound, recopied book. The book is a general. It's for sure. It just picks up as if it was just carried on from another book. So you for sure feel like this just is. It's almost like it just carries on with. It doesn't set anything up at all. It's it tells the tale, not even a tale really, of Rosegard as a fledgling town. A very, very, very long time ago, just like 500, 600 years ago. It details a theory that before the cataclysm of the Magi, the land itself was like utterly alien, and the effects of the magic was far stronger back in the day when the Magi were around, which allowed for a thoroughly different landscape. Even the laws of physics as they understand it didn't apply then. And this generally just it explains just how the Rosegard came about, and it's kind of generally a dull thing to flick through. The only things that you pick out are these things. Other than that, it's just they built an aqueduct nice and early. Right? You are?
Those have the symbols on it, right?
They have the symbols on the front, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question you don't have to answer. Do I have one of those tattoos?
Let me find out. Let me see. So this book would be...
Oh my god.
I think probably... yes. I think both of these books would have two different symbols.
Like what I'm imagining is like a bunch of them all together. Yeah. Oh, they go straight up? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Which one do I have?
These have the mid-level symbols. 4, 5, 6 kind of looking.
Okay.
Everyone's just like, what the fuck?
Sorry guys. Sorry. I am fucking freaking out right now.
But it seems like that I would imagine, like, you'd probably notice that they're on there almost as a design, almost as a clue, a bit like how thieves use thieves' cant to discuss things. It's not maybe a direct influence. It's not necessarily a direct message. You notice that the symbols that are for, like, let's say 4 and 5 are on volume 3, and the symbols for 6 and 7 will be on volume 4.
Oh.
So
what's in volume 4?
Volume 4 by Reginald Tallis is a book written while Rosegard was still a fledgling town as well. It appears to be obviously from the same time. This one,
are they like copies but something slightly different in it, or
no, they're different books.
Right
it's as if it's book 4 potentially of 4. You don't have 1 and 2, but you have 3 and 4 here. The numbers and the symbols on the front are symbolic artistic things. They're very small. They're not even drawn on, obviously. They're probably just imprinted in the leather. This one, as you flick through it, details the actual cataclysm itself. And again, this seems to be like a scholar who's writing something like, I think this is what happened, is what it seems like. But a lot of the things kind of seem, I mean, they gave you these books for a reason. So this one, Reginald, the author, believes, as many do, that the ancient Magi that ruled the land before became altogether too powerful, and they eventually cast a spell or a number of spells that caused their own annihilation. And the magics were so powerful that it rippled outwards and affected any number of things, including memory, physics, biology, everything. He states sort of like in the book that what he knows for sure is that it caused a great ice age, forcing many creatures to hibernate and survive in these new colds and this strange ice world. Or not the entire world was covered in ice. There are areas where it wasn't, but for the most part, everywhere was ice. It was just an ice planet for a long time. It's stated that several dragons were alive during both the Age of the Magi and the Age of Ice, but no one's got any proof of this. And it suggests that it wasn't like a worldwide destruction, that this ice age just kind of lasted for so long that there was no trace of life that managed to span all three of the ages. The one that came before, the ice age, and then this age that you guys are in. So it essentially just details this. It's just this theory that the Magi destroyed themselves with magic.
Okay.
And yeah, both these books just kind of state this theory. And he seems pretty convinced it's like this is what he's researched and found out.
Okay. I don't want to bore anybody, but can I ask you about the runes and the
yeah. So, the next book you read is Runes, Archaic and Ancient Language, Volume 1 by Leah Tholdas Drake. Learning time.
Okay.
Brad's Law learning time, everybody. This is
How to translate runes 101.
It's kind of like that, but it's a very controversial book on the language of the ancients, which is known as Archaic, and you've encountered that in the campaign in that first dungeon that you guys were in with the fire, and it was all over the walls, and all these weird alien artifacts were around. This one states that the magic of the ancient Magi was fundamentally different to the magic that exists now and that you guys all have been using, and that the magic that you guys use pales in comparison. Their magic was pure, and that the world was no longer able to contain it, and so it crystallized in weird ways, which the effect being a close approximation to something physical that you like understand as a wall. So you see a wall with all the archaic on it. That's just the only way that the new physics of the world could manifest this old magic, and as such, the enhancement or the magic that is in these walls or embedded in the strange old artifacts and stuff, it appears like runes and lettering, but it's neither. It's just the after effect of the cataclysm, which is why people can't read it and they still just can't work it out. Again, controversial, because a lot of people say you can read it, and they believe they can, and other people don't. Again, this is information that you would know.
Okay. Do I find anything about the runes specifically that we were looking for?
Not in those books.
Okay. And the next one I want to look at is the trinkets of the ancient Magi.
Trinkets! Of course you'd look for this one. Trinkets of the Ancient Magi by Angmar Chaucer. This one is a fiction book, like a story that's been... That
I've never read a fiction book before.
Seems to have been based in some sort of weird truth. And it's a really disjointed and weird story. It details the story of a hero during the later stages of the Frozen Age who appeared one day at a settlement on the Moonlands wearing a solid gold bracer. And it's said that he wielded power beyond that of his size and skill, and the nameless hero defends the city from a rampaging dragon before disappearing once again into the south towards where Black Point would be now.
What was the hero's name?
Nameless. Or anonymous.
Interesting. That's fantastic. Thank you. That's I just wanted to devour those books.
Okay, no more books? What do you do with the other books?
What are the other books' titles? Anything interesting? If I've got time, I'll browse through and see if anything catches my fancy, but...
You got 3 more books, I think. The Gates of One by Leah Tholdas Drake and Reginald
yes,
Tallis.
Please.
You sure? This is the biggest book.
Oh, yeah. I don't care.
History book.
It's a thick-looking book, and it's also a tale of fiction.
Ooh. I did enjoy the last fiction book I just read. So.
It states I'm sort of figuring that you scan this looking for words and pick stuff out.
Yeah.
Even though it still takes you a long time to do this. Again, this is another work of fiction, but you notice that one of the authors is Reginald Tallis, who wrote those 2 non-fiction books the time before, which were the ones about the city and his theories on the cataclysms and stuff like that. It claims in the front of this book that this was only printed 5 times. However, for some reason, it's a children's book that tells the story of a friendly fire genie who was lost in a cave. And the story is like, it is super nonsensical when you read it. If you read it to a child, it might make sense to them or be like fun or whatever. It's like very whimsical and silly in most places. But it references these points that stand out to you immediately as you're scanning through. This friendly fire genie which is lost in a cave, and then it references something known as 7 Gates of One, massive underground sanctuaries that are created by the ancient magi that house these amounts of magical energy. They're designed to harness and hold and then use or draw from these ridiculous sites of power that you've seen in the other book. Each site or each one of these gates is supposed to provide an unimaginably powerful service. There's a gate in the Mistlands, which is a place in the world that is supposedly lost inside of a forest, and it's guarded by a massive construct kind of golem monk that doesn't let anybody pass. The gate supposedly grants this fire genie supreme sight. The ability to see in the dark is nothing, because this allows him to see directly into people's souls. The genie travels.
Oh my god. I smile at Daddy Hasmel for a minute. Like, okay, I know you can see me.
The genie travels via these gates. References another gate which is lost in a desert that allows the genie to travel along the weave of time itself. It allows him to see things and be in places at different points in time. He sees various different futures, and it states that these sets of gates are all across Lacrin. There's 7 of them, and when he comes to the final gate, it's known as the Gate of Fire. The story, for the most part, takes place on Thelmecia, where you are. The fire genie makes his home. The walls are covered in ancient text that's similar to what the place that you've been to looks like, and it references all these strange alien artifacts that are around. Again, it's a strange story of this fire genie that travels around the world gaining power and then settles and is granted guardianship of this gate. It states towards the end of the book that the gates allow for travel between all planes, and if unified, the gates of one would allow one to travel between all realities. It's just it's like just an out of place statement, and then the book ends. And yeah, I think you scan through that, and again, like you're picking up on things. Again, there's like all these silly tales. It's like a D&D adventure about this genie that goes around the world and collects power and levels up and gets swords and stuff like that. But these are the points that you pick up on.
I'm convinced now that Praetor knew everything, because Daddy is working with them. So I'm freaking out now. I'm gonna pack up my books.
What? I don't know any of this.
And I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm keeping my backpack with me, however. Is Ira what time is it now? It's probably like super early in the morning.
I'm deep into I'm on bottle 3.
Yeah. You two give me con saves.
I better not be drunk for this meeting.
Oh my
That's
word.
a 1.
Iro, you're asleep at the bar, dude. You're face down in like kind of your own drawl and like some wine.
Can I roll to see how much of the bar is talking horribly about Rin right now, please?
Absolutely. Please roll me a d20.
And what am I doing? Con save? There it is.
13.
13 people in your
shit.
immediate area are still talking about this horrible person, Rin.
Oh, okay.
They're just kind of like, I can't believe how awful she is. That's the worst person. I've heard stories about dragons that have torn little kids' arms and legs off. But I tell you what, I'd rather meet that dragon than Rin. Whoever she is. Hello, as you walk past Rin. Drift, you are super drunk as well. It is about 1:15 in the morning, Rin, when you come downstairs. Drift is kind of
in my lap.
Drift is like on a table, like kind of like
Was I
swaying.
supposed to meet her at midnight?
Yeah, you rolled a 4. You're dancing on a table, just kind of like one tankard in one hand, a tankard in the other. But Eero is just like on the bar. There's plenty of people also on the bar. Yeah, you'd estimate it's about 1:15 in the morning.
And
Drift,
have you been
no
having
idea.
a good time?
My name's Good Time.
Well, your name is Cursebreaker.
Sir Cursebreaker Good Time.
Cursebreaker.
Want to have a good time?
Are you ready to call it a night?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put Eero to bed, and I'll be right back.
He's
Don't-
still partying. Eero.
He's sleeping.
He's a dream partying. Eero has the dream party. Eero.
Wait. I have ink in my bag. Come here.
Yeah.
That's the dream party. Where are we going? I don't want to go.
What? We're not going anywhere. We're just gonna. I'm gonna pull the ink out of my bag, and I'm gonna pull my little my brush pen out of there, and I'm gonna start drawing on Eero's face.
Sure. Give me a performance check.
I think as you jostle me, I just kind of say, and that's when Rin began to.
So this is absurd, but my monk has way of the brush with calligraphy.
All right. You have advantage.
Okay.
What are you drawing? What are you drawing?
13. What do you want to draw? I mean, you can generally draw what you want. I'm sure it's not going to be that bad. But I was also rolling that. You were rolling that to see if he wakes up. He doesn't.
I'm writing "I kissed a hag" all over his face. Yeah.
Nice. It just dirty ink all over his face.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like
I
just a
like
hag.
and I liked it on Drift's face.
No. And I'll
I'm
doodle like a mustache and glasses. Yeah, just like right on there.
That's so good. That is so good. That is
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thank you. Taking up
So
painting
good.
and calligraphy in my spare time.
You need a drink.
I don't know
You
about that.
need a drink. Can we get a drink? Please?
I mean, they're just immediately people behind you with drinks, handing them to Drift. Sir Drift, the Cursebreaker.
Thank you. Here. You should have a drink.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh, we won. We won. We actually won. We did it. We
You
actually
did a great job.
We actually won.
We should have a conversation about what happened later, though.
What do you mean? I beat 3 people and I won, and we won.
Walter?
I just throw up.
Oh,
And that's where we end today's session. And that is where we end today's session. Oh wow! The 3 of them sat in the bar.
I'm supposed to have an important
You
meeting.
were supposed to have a very important meeting, but you didn't go to it. That's what happens when you get too drunk after winning a tournament. But at least you got free drinks on that, pretty much. Not that you need them, because you're very rich. Congratulations!
Wow.
I feel like you have a decent amount to discuss next time.
holy shit! Do we ever?
Yeah,
I
there's a lot.
believe, if a memory serves, that 19 has a dawn duel with the
Oh my
leader
God, the
of
blood grips.
the blood grips at John's farm.
On John's farm.
I'm sure that they won't try and double cross him. We'll find out next time at John's farm. I'm gonna give you guys the books, or just the little blurbs that I gave you of the books in the Discord, so you can look over them or whatever. You do have 2 left that you didn't read or glance at or whatever. Yeah, remember, Darkfire Discord channel for everyone who wants to start throwing around their own theories or putting things together. There was some stuff in there to let you mull over. It's an interesting way to just dump information on you. The original plan was that you were going to find like a few of these books, but you just got them all. So it's a big info dump. A little more. There we go. I'm not going to say any more. So, thanks very much for watching.
Oh, there's so much.
Let's go around the table and see where people can find people during the week, starting with Sir Pumpkinberry.
Hello. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/pumpkinberry and Twitter at the same handle. That's all. And
That's
here.
all.
Yep. Up there and here.
Yes,
All right.
if you missed the announcement, PB
Yeah.
is now an official part of Tablestory, and she will be running her own thing. You guys, I mean, we just announced a show for 2019. Is it? I mean, are we?
Who knows? No one knows. Simply put, no
Join the
one
Discord.
knows. Join that Discord. Discord is the hip hippity hop happening place to keep up
Really
on
is.
all the bullshit going on.
I just found that whole section of drawings and stuff. I went
there's
back
a
like
whole
months.
fan art thing, which
was
is so
amazing.
many. Everyone who submits fan art, by the way, is the best.
Thank you.
It's
I love
just-
everyone that draws
Or
fan
fan
art.
fiction, which I totally thought was.
I won't
what
agree.
was
I won't
part.
agree with that one. I can't say that I think everyone that submits fan fiction.
Brad needs a lot of NPCs for Darkfire. If you guys
Yeah.
haven't sent them over yet,
It's not true. You can send me one if you want next month. If you want to send in
Or
a
you
thing.
could save them for.
Something else.
a
Someone
week.
else. That's right. Because we have Halcyon Unbound starting. Send them to Wax so that he can throw them in and prepare them for a brand new show that we'll get to in a minute after John tells us where.
and I'll blow
he
the
can find-
city up.
If you don't blow the city up, that would be just devastating. That's like the whole thing. John Sammy.
So fun, the best. I love it. I just end every episode like questioning. I have so many questions that'll get answers. Maybe next week, maybe not. Thank you guys. Love you. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of it under John Sandman or John Sandman TV. I don't know which one's which, but love you guys. Seriously. Thank you as always.
John Sammy is a John Sammy.
When do I get my own show?
Oh my God! Please.
No, I would be a horrible DM. I can't memorize anything. No.
John Sandman runs a one-shot
It would be
for the
so
Shill
bad.
show where it's just
everyone gets into their car, and then giant balls start raining down from the sky.
That's exactly
You're
how-
in a stadium.
They're gonna be the drinking episode one shot.
Yeah. Yeah, if we got drunk and everything was decided by the flip of a card, I could run it.
John's
But
Miller Lite episode.
all my friends have been bagging on me for all these weird sponsorships.
It's all jealousy, John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here grinding,
Awesome.
John. That's so out here grinding LA life, you know. Don't know why I did it in a New York accent.
Is that even New York?
I don't know.
Tiger Rider
I'm
accent.
not from
Tiger Rider from New York.
Tiger Rider. He played that character last week. There was also a demon called Cran in my last campaign. It sounded like that. Talking of a demon, Wax Steven.
Oh,
Yo!
Shout him out. You don't think he's
Hi,
a demon?
everybody. I'm Wax
I think
Steven,
he's a
normally
demon.
known as the
Demon
DM
of
or GM of Doom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, as always, for tuning in to Darkfire. We love having you here. We appreciate you. And yeah, we just announced Halcyon Unbound. That's going to be starting in 10 days. We are starting a whole brand new masks campaign. It's not something you have to watch Identity Crisis for. It's on its own thing, new setting. So you need to come check it out. And that's going to be starting with Jay, with Vio, with PB, with Goobers, with Domestic Dan. It's going to be fantastic. I'm really excited to play Masks again. It was just a fantastic system. I really enjoyed it a lot. And I hope to see you guys there. Otherwise, we've got a lot of stuff that should be starting back up now that the holidays are over. Oh, God, please. The holidays have it's the combination of holidays and the flu that has just decimated shows for the last couple weeks. So can't wait to get started back on the shows. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back next week.
Full cast. We'll
hopefully full cast will be here.
Yeah.
And we'll see what they do next. I don't know what they're going to do next. I know what they need to do next, but I don't know what they're going to do next. And neither do you. Find out next time. Oh, also, you're all level 4 now, and it's milestone leveling. Congratulations.
Let's go.
Everyone's level 4, and I'll let Tiger know.
That
So
means we get feats.
you can do whatever the fuck you want at level
2
4.
of them.
You can either take it. You didn't get 2 feats. You get 1 feat. Didn't you?
I have 2 feats, Brad. You
Oh,
only
you
have
could-
1.
You could take. Oh, I see. All right. I'm done here. Bye. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace out.
out.
Peace
Whack out.
out. Whack out.